On a winter evening in 1933, in a farmhouse far from any town, the sun went down at 4:30, and the whole world inside that house shrank to the small circle of light thrown by a single kerosene lamp on the kitchen table. Around that one lamp the family gathered, because it was the only light they had, and when it was turned down for the night, the darkness that filled the house was deeper and more complete than almost anything we ever experience now. There was no switch on the wall. For most of rural America in those years, when the sun went down, the day was very nearly over. Number 5 on this list is the reason the whole family crowded around one small flame every single night. Number 3 is the chore every child hated that had to be done before the lamp could even be lit. And number 2 is the quiet danger that burned homes to the ground and took lives in the dark. These were the years when light itself was something you paid for, drop by drop, and used with great care. This is how they lived when the sun went down. They didn't have much, but they knew how to make it last. Number 6, living by the sun. When your only light after dark was expensive and dim, the simplest answer was to need as little of it as possible. And so these families lived by the sun in a way almost no one does now. They rose before dawn to get the most from the daylight, and they did the work that needed good light, the reading, the sewing, the fine handwork, while the sun was up and free. As the light faded, the pace of the house wound down with it. When full dark came, there was an hour or two by the lamp, and then bed, early by our standards, because there was little reason to burn costly fuel to sit in the dark, and because the next day began before the sun did. The rhythm of their whole lives followed the light in the sky. Number 5, the one lamp and the family around it. Kerosene cost money, and a lamp burning in every room was an extravagance no ordinary family could afford. So, in most homes, there was one good lamp lit in the evening, and the entire family gathered in its light. The mother sewed or mended in the best of the glow. The children did their schoolwork leaning in close to see the page. The father read the paper if there was one, or worked at some small task with his hands. That single pool of light drew the whole family into one room, one table, one shared circle every night of the year. And many who grew up in those years remembered the closeness of it long after the hardship faded. A family pressed together around one small flame because that was where the light was. Number 4, the nightly ration of light. A family thought about lamp oil the way they thought about every other scarce thing, carefully, and with an eye on what was left. Kerosene was bought by the can and had to last, and so the lamp was lit only when it was truly needed and turned down or out the moment it was not. A child sent to fetch something from another room when in the dark, or carried a candle stub because you did not light a second lamp for a small errand. The flame was kept low to save fuel, low enough to see by and no brighter, and the family's whole evening was lit at the dimmest level they could manage. Light was not something you flooded a house with. It was rationed, hour by hour, like everything else. Here is what stood behind all of this. In the 1930s, electricity was something the cities had, and much of the countryside did not. In town, homes and streets had electric light, and life could go on into the evening, much as it does now. But out on the farms, where a great many Americans still lived, the power lines simply did not reach, and running a line out to scattered country homes was something the electric companies would not pay to do. It was not until the middle of the decade that the government began the enormous effort to bring electricity to rural America, and even then, it came slowly, farm by farm, over years. So, for millions of families through those years, the coming of night still meant the coming of real darkness, held back only by a flame. Now answer this before you hear the rest. If the power in your home went out tonight and did not come back, not for a day but for good, how would your evenings change? Could your family gather each night around a single dim light and go to bed when it burned low and rise with the sun because there was no other way? Write yes or no in the comments right now before you hear the rest. Then keep watching, because keeping even that one small light burning was more work and more danger than most of us have ever imagined. Number 3. The daily work of the lamp. A kerosene lamp did not simply switch on. It had to be tended every single day, and the work of it was a chore no one enjoyed. Each morning, the glass chimney had to be cleaned of the black soot the flame left behind, because a dirty chimney gave a dim and smoking light, and cleaning it was a delicate, sooty job that fell to the women and the older children. The wick had to be trimmed straight and even, or the flame would smoke and gutter, and it had to be turned up as it burned down. The bowl had to be kept filled with oil. A lamp that was neglected gave poor light or none, so the light a family enjoyed in the evening was paid for with careful work every morning, hands blackened with soot, before the day had properly begun. Number 2. The danger in the flame. Here is the shadow underneath the warm glow of the lamp, the part the cozy picture leaves out. An open flame full of oil in a house made of wood is a dangerous thing, and these families lived with that danger every night. A lamp knocked from a table by a child or a careless elbow could spill burning oil across the floor in an instant, and house fires from overturned lamps were a real and terrible danger in those years, claiming homes and far too often lives in the time it takes to tell it. Children were burned reaching for the flame. The dim light itself strained and weakened eyes over the years. Families were careful, endlessly careful, because they understood exactly what the lamp could do. But care was not always enough, and the same small flame that gave them their evenings could, in one unlucky moment, take everything. Number 1. They understood the true worth of light. When it is all added together, the living by the sun, the one shared lamp, the rationed oil, and the sooty morning work, and the ever-present danger, it comes to this. These families understood the value of light in a way a world of switches has let us forget. To them, light after dark was not free, and it was not endless. It was a small, precious, hard-won thing, tended by hand and paid for drop by drop, and gathered around like the treasure it was. They knew the true weight of darkness, and so they knew the true worth of a flame. And there is a wisdom in that we have lost entirely, flooding our rooms with light we never think about and never have to earn. So, how would your evenings change from what you answered at the start? Now you know what holding back the dark really took. A whole life lived by the rhythm of the sun. One small lamp and the entire family gathered in its light. Oil rationed by the can, a chimney cleaned of soot every morning, and always, in the corner of every evening, the danger of the open flame. None of it was charming to the people who lived it, and not one of them looked back on the long, dark evenings as a simpler, sweeter time. It was a careful, watchful way of living, in a world where light itself was scarce and dear. They were the hard years. They didn't have much, but they knew how to make it last. And that's worth remembering. If your parents or grandparents grew up by lamplight, tell me in the comments what they remembered about those evenings around the one lamp. I want to know which of these your family still remembers. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because every week we go back inside the hardest years America ever faced and the forgotten skills the people who survived them knew.